Alright, so I wanted to make a video today. I couldn't make a video of what I wanted to make a video of. Some technical difficulties with my shop. But hopefully tomorrow night or this weekend I'll make that video. So this is just a quick video. If someone is trying to replace their spark plugs and they don't want to pay for the more expensive already finished spark plug wires, because those can be anywhere from $100 to $150 for the actual spark plug wire that's finished with the crimp end and everything. So this brand is about $40 at your auto parts store. I got them at O'Reilly's, but you can get them anywhere. The brand doesn't matter, and if you're looking for super high performance, then I'm pretty sure you'll know what you're looking for. But if you're just basic Ford truck owner, you know, stock Ford truck, you don't really need anything super high performance. So this part goes into the spark plug. That's the boot. This is already done. This end is not done. So basically what you need to do is go out to your truck and size which boot you need. This pack came with this larger boot and a smaller boot. Now if you have a Ford, more than likely you're going to use a smaller boot, because that's what I had to do, because this goes onto the distributor cap. The wire comes in here, distributor cap, and then when you push this over, it creates a seal on the plastic stud that's below the metal connector and whatever else. So it also came with these two parts, the kit. So I'm going to use this boot. I'm going to put it aside. So the kit came with these. It's the same thing as this if your vehicle uses this kind, if that makes sense. With a traditional Ford distributor cap, you're going to be using this one, because this round part here connects to the top of the distributor, that little nub there, and then this part, the wire, you're going to crimp it on like so. Alright, so now that we're going to use this boot, because I went out to my truck and sized it up, and I'm going to be using this connector because this works with my distributor and most Ford distributors, since this is a Ford video. So you're going to go out to your truck, you're going to hold this near the spark plug where your boot currently is, hold this there, and take this end and run it up to your distributor, how you want to weave it through your engine compartment and all that. And then you hold it up to your distributor, and then you size it from there. The boot that's at your distributor already, you size it, and then you mark it with a Sharpie. I marked this one right here. Alright, so before you strip it, after you cut it where you want it, you gotta put it through the boot. You gotta put it all the way through the boot, and then have about that much extending, or however much you need to strip it. So dielectric grease should have come with the kit. And then if you don't have dielectric grease with the kit, you might want to pick some up. So you can get some on a Q-tip. And I'm just going to lube up the inside. You can lube up the wire, that's what a lot of people do. But it's easier if you lube up the inside, because it's such a tight fit. When you put the grease on the wire and then shove it through, a lot of it comes off right at the base, so you don't want that. So, and you can do the same thing with the wire. If you don't have dielectric grease and you don't want to use it, you can use like 3-in-1 oil or a lightweight oil. Just, I guess, wipe it off afterward. It shouldn't matter. Lubed up the inside of this, lubed up the outside of this, and then shove it through. This part, I don't know if there's a super easy way of doing it, except just to do it. So what I would do is I kind of bend this like so with my hand, and then try to shove it through, and if you lubed it correctly, it comes out like that easy. I didn't pause the video and then resume it after I got it through. It literally took that long, like a couple seconds. If you lube it right, you won't have a problem. So the inside of the boot and the outside of the wire, lube both. Alright, so that's done. After you get it through the boot, you gotta strip it. So use your official pliers or whatever you got. So you want like a good 1/4 inch, and I'll show you why after. Alright, so when you get through, rotate the wire and then pull. So it comes with this thread. I think the thread is just for strength. I don't like it, so I'm going to cut it off. Use a razor blade or a box cutter or a knife. So depending on what kit you get, if you get the MSD kit, these little connectors here, they have a crimp here. That crimps the wire. And then in the middle, there should be a secondary crimp, and that crimps the little anode there, the wire, the conductor. These kind of have a secondary crimp, but not really. So if you don't have that, you bend the wire under, I don't know if you can see that, bend it under like that. And then you're just going to crimp the wire, but the conductor is under, so it'll make connection. Before you crimp it, what I have to do is, since the outside of this is a little too wide, I'm going to take needle nose and just clamp it together a little bit, like so. Then, after I do that, I can fit it inside of my crimper. And this tool really does make it a lot easier if you're doing 8 or 6. And then you crimp it like so. And you can't really use an ordinary crimper because they're not that big, and the shape doesn't look like this. And then to crimp it like this, you need that shape right there. So anyway, like I said, these were $30. I got them at O'Reilly's. You can get them at any parts store of your choice. I like O'Reilly's. A multimeter or an ohm meter. What you really want on your multimeter is continuity. So when you have a connection, it'll beep. That's what you want. So you put one end in here and then one end right here. And I probably didn't reach it. So it's kind of hard for me to reach in here with this, so I'll just kind of jam it in. Alright, so as you can see, one end in here, one end on here, and you hear that annoying beep. That means there's a good connection. Alright, so that means you have successfully made one spark plug wire. You pull it back through, and the boot is an L shape, so you want this to kind of spin back into, there you go. So as you pull it through, you kind of spin it, and you want it to go back in like that, because when you pull it back through, this will be aiming down, the end will be aiming down, and that's where you connect it to your distributor cap. So you pull it back through until you can see it in there, which I'm not sure if you can see it. So now you can kind of see it in there, and if you take your existing spark plug wire off the distributor, you'll see this connection inside of there. So in case you want more of a hands-on feel for it, to get a look at it, just look at your existing one. And then this pops onto the distributor, and this side pops onto the spark plug. It is that easy. If you do an 8, I'm sorry, I feel for you, but if you lube it up the right way, it goes in really easily. And for this video, I use vegetable oil on a Q-tip, like I showed you. You can use dielectric grease, and I would recommend dielectric grease, but I'm not putting this on my truck right now, so I just use vegetable oil. And if the dielectric grease isn't doing it for you, use like vegetable oil or something. I don't think it'll matter. Alright, so you're going to have different lengths. I have a V8, but I'm just showing you 4 because the other 4 are the same length. So you're going to have 4 different lengths. The fourth one, 1, 2, 3, 4, is going to be the longest. So you want to size the long ones first. And on your engine, the longer wires are going from the distributor to the last spark plugs closest to the firewall. On each side, those are your longest wires. Then your second longest wires, and then start from closest to your firewall and work your way up. But when I sized them on both of them, I just marked 4, and that means for me that's the longest one, and that's going closest to the firewall. And then that's 3. When you put all these back in a bundle and you're carrying them back inside or wherever you're going to crimp them at, they could get mixed up and you're like, which one was longer? Instead of sizing them all up again, I just marked them, so I know this one's going to be one of the longest ones, are going to be longer. Alright, and that was it.